Political landscape changing yet again today. Former Georgia GOP Congressman Bob Barr tossing his hat into the ring. He is now officially running for president. He wants to head the Libertarian ticket. Congressman Barr making the big announcement at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. just moments ago. Take a listen.
My name is Bob Barr, and I'm a candidate for the presidency of the United States of America.
Bob Barr is running on a conservative platform, pushing smaller government and lower taxes. So could he be a spoiler for John McCain? Joining me now is newly declared Libertarian presidential candidate Bob Barr. Congressman, great to see you. Libertarian nominees have never managed to get more than 1% of the vote in presidential elections. The best was 1.32% back in 1980. Do you really think you have a realistic chance of getting elected? And if not, then why are you doing this?
Well, I certainly do believe that I have a realistic shot at getting elected. The dynamics are very, very different now from every prior race in which the Libertarian Party has fielded a candidate. Not only that, but I think what I bring to the table, what I would bring to the table as a Libertarian nominee would be far in excess of any of our prior candidates. But the most important thing is the American people are truly becoming, if not already, fed up with the two-party status quo system. As, for example, why we see nearly 80% of the American people believe the country is on the wrong track. It's on the wrong track in the minds of many people because of what has happened under the leadership of the Republican and Democrat Party.
Well, let me stop you there. In a close race, you could turn out to be the kind of spoiler for John McCain that Ralph Nader was for Al Gore 8 years ago. Here's what Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, had to say about you. Bob Barr will make it marginally easier for Barack Obama to become president. That outcome threatens every libertarian value that Barr professes to champion. Does he have a point?
No, I have great respect for Newt. He's a good friend. We shared the same home county for many years in the Congress of the United States. Newt's a very bright man, but he does have some blind spots. One of those is the fact that all of his political analysis these days seem colored by the lens of being a member of and an advocate only for the Republican Party. The fact of the matter is that there are many millions of Americans who are ready, after long years in the wilderness, to take a shot, take a chance, and vote for a real choice and a real message to Washington. They're not wedded to the two parties.
What's your beef with John McCain? You share many of his values. After all, he's strongly in favor of appointing conservative judges. He's very strong conservative on spending, wants to get rid of all that pork barrel and earmarks and that sort of stuff. And he wants to lower taxes. Barack Obama would likely raise taxes by not renewing the Bush tax cuts. I mean, aren't you a lot closer to John McCain than you are to Barack Obama?
Well, that's not really the point. The point of the matter is that John McCain is not fiscally conservative. He's not a strong supporter of deep and permanent tax cuts. He's not a supporter of reforming the tax system in this country. He's not strongly in favor of deep cuts in government spending. Yeah, he talks about nibbling at the edges of federal expenditures by talking about earmarks, but that does not get to the heart of the matter. Plus the fact any judge that Senator McCain as president would likely nominate would be somebody who would be predisposed to support concepts and principles such as the McCain-Feingold Campaign Finance Reform Act, which is anything but conservative.
In his column, George Will reminded readers of how the Almanac of American Politics described you: humorless, pessimistic, sarcastic, and a Zogby poll has you at 3%. How are you going to do this? How are you going to become president of the United States? Really?
Well, I'm going to smile a lot more. I'm not pessimistic at all. If I were pessimistic, I certainly wouldn't be in this race. I'm in this race because I'm very optimistic about the future of this country, and I believe in the American people, apparently far more than the other candidates do, especially Senator McCain, because I think people are serious when they say we want to change. We want somebody in Washington who will cut back on the scope, the power, and the oppressive size of the federal government and return power, money, and influence to the people where it ought to reside in the first place.
All right. Bob Barr, now a candidate for president, Libertarian. Thank you very much for being with us. Jane?
My pleasure.